Anyway, what have we got on the agenda later on in the video? You're going to need a pen and paper, because if you're thinking about moving into a motorhome and if you would be financially better off, I can give you a few guidelines, a few helpers maybe. So you're going to need a pen and paper for this one, but we'll carry on with that a bit later on. Anyway, we got the van done yesterday, and you were about to see a few clips from the from me nephew's little workshop. Just a quick look round our Lee's yard. It's not a bad place, a few potholes and whatever, but it keeps the water off his head. Enjoy, mate. Just getting some. You all right? Well, you carry on, son. Plenty of beef on them shoes, is there?
Yes, fucking shitloads on here, look.
Lovely.
At least this side is water.
Yeah, no leaks on that side, son.
But like I say, catch it in time.
I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday morning. We're on a bit of a slope here. I don't know if you could see, but and it's a cold one. There's a good old frost this morning, a good hard frost. But yeah, we're nearly sorted. We'll be able to get back out in the countryside, and I'll have no worries now until May. Preparing for the MOT in the next service. We should be trouble-free driving until then. Let's hope so. Well, we've got father and son on this one. Yeah, don't worry about hitting the other car as long as it's not mine. Look at them, mate. Look at these pair. Listen.
Miller.
Go on, son. This is father and son at it. Jason says he don't want to do it anymore. Oh my God, what's he done now?
I missed it while I'm turning nuts.
Oh, mate. Jason, I don't think you cut out for the job, son. you just get on with that bleeding thermostat housing. We'll have a look at Jace, see how he's doing, look. Jobs are good and Jace is in there, son. You need that. He's on it like a pro. Like a pro, son. Got to comment on that. What do you think to this, the workshop, when you have to come in and do your own work?
Do your own work?
What do you reckon, mate?
Nah, not having it. Mine should be clean, not fucking dirty.
Anyway, me lovelies, let's get into this subject. You're going to need a pen and paper for my calculations. Now, it's obviously, I don't know what anybody's income is on here, so what your incomes are and what your outgoings are. Let me just try to correct this camera because it's shooting me on the P, I think. fucking sure. Anyway, yeah, you're all on different incomes, so it's going to be pretty hard for me. But if you get a pen and paper, we'll do a little bit of reckoning at the end and just see what you can free up by living full time in a camper van or a motorhome or self-build. Because you're all on different incomes, it makes it difficult. I can't tell you exactly, but your pen and paper will tell you that at the end. Anyway, my reckoning on this moving into a van full time or moving into a motorhome full time. Now, it seems to be a lot of the older generation that are moving into motorhomes. You know, people that are retired or coming up for retirement. If they've got a house, they're using it as an income. So they're renting it out while they're on the road to give them a little bit of extra income, which is a fantastic idea. But if you're not privileged to that and you have a council property or you're just paying a landlord, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you in certain ways. You're not going to have that income for the house, obviously. And as I say, a lot of older people are moving into the motorhomes. One, because they have a second income coming in by renting their house out. And two, they just can't afford to live in that property anymore with the bills, with your gas, your electric, your water, your council tax and such bills. And it comes to the stage of quality of life, really. I mean, if you're sitting in a rented property and you're spending all your money on said property and your gas and your electric and water, I'm sorry about the lighting, there's not a lot I can do about it. But yeah, you know, that's what you're going to be able to save on. And as I say, it's normally the older generation that bucks the trend on this. But those ones who we must obey are driving people into this lifestyle. And I see more and more younger people getting into van life. I'm having to move about a bit, I'm sorry, but yeah, I just can't get the lighting right in here. Can't get the lighting right. The sun's coming through. Yeah, I can't get the lighting right. Anyway, as I was saying, even the young ones are beginning to buck this getting a house routine, because the simple thing is they can't get on the council. The council, I know, I have so many friends and family. The kids are living at home until they're in their 30s and 40s because the council will not house our children. And it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So you can't get your foot on the ladder. So for a single person, this is so frustrating. They can't get a council. If you're working and you go to the council, they will advise you to rent privately because you have an income. Well, that's wrong, isn't it? That's wrong. You know, if you've got a job, you're not guaranteed a council property. Unless you're a bleeding immigrant, you ain't getting in our housing system, which is terrible. You know, now, kids will turn to this. They're going to, and the government are going to be in pretty shit street when it happens and they find out, well, I can't get accommodation, what am I going to do? They're going to look into this lifestyle. That's going to increase the van life community if it's not big enough already, and alarm bells are ringing to the government. These people are not being captured in houses or entrapped in houses, and they're having to find their own means of being able to leave home without any help. It's just ridiculous, mate. It's ridiculous. So I think we'll see a trend of the younger ones either living and working in their vans full time. It's the only option that you would have, isn't it? I mean, if you've got to rent privately and you can't get on the council list, you don't want to be staying at home with mummy and daddy in your 20s, do you, really? I mean, it wasn't done back in the day. We was all out the house by 22, 23. Me, I was out at 16. As soon as that door was open, I was gone. I was like a rat up a drain pipe. I'm off. And I had my first council house at 16. 17. I remember. 17. So I was a council tenant for nearly 50 years to get nothing. To get nothing. Your income's tied up and you're in a rut. What are they going to do? They're going to find their own escape. It's as simple as that. And van life, although it sounds idyllic, let's get a few things straight first. Sounds idyllic, lovely, living in a van, no problem. There is a problem. To live in a van full time, you're going to need the van to be right. You know, you're going to need heating. Well, that's easily sorted. A diesel heater, you can get them for less than 100 quid. You're going to need solar to run that. Now, your solar can cost you as much or as little as you like, but my setup is I have a 200 watt solar panel. I have a 120 watt amp hour lithium battery. Now that, to me, I can live in this for all year round. I know in the winter we don't get so much sun, so your solar's going to be down. So you're also going to need a B2B. I've got a 30 amp B2B that charges my battery at 30 amps an hour while I'm driving. So you're going to need a B2B if you're in England anyway. And that's your electric side sorted. I mean, all I'm running in here electric is a compressor fridge and a diesel heater. In the winter only is the diesel heater, because spring, summer and autumn you're not really using it a lot. You know, you're not turning it on every day. You know, there's months that it don't go on. So you're saving in diesel, you're saving in power. So then I've got more power than what I can actually use. In the summer, it's pointless having a microwave and an induction hob or anything over electric like that. I mean, it's just, you can run it in the summer, of course you can, because you've got the power to replace in your batteries. But you're going to need an inverter to turn your 12 volt into 240, which is another expense. So keep putting these bits down on your pen and paper, please. So now you got your solar, you got your battery, you got your fridge, you got your heating. You're ready to go. In the summer, it's LED lights. It's LED lights in the winter. That's lighting's taking nothing out your battery. The biggest problem is your heater, diesel heater in the winter, because most of the times it's got to be on 15, 18 hours a day. And that has got to be, you know, you've got to charge your battery up. So it's expense. Of course, you do not want to buy a bag of shit that's damp, that's leaking. Obviously, you know, I can't show you what to or not to buy, but we'll have some examples what not to buy on the end of this little vlog. But yeah, get your pen and paper out. Here we go. So if you put your income down, what your monthly income is, write that down. Now, your monthly outgoings: rent, council tax, gas, electric, water, Wi-Fi. Now, if you lived in a van, that money would be freed up. You're not going to be that much better off by the time you've bought your diesel. You're going to be travelling every day or every 2 days. You've got your tax. I mean, my tax is £30 a month. Your insurance is going up every year, as we all know. And we know what the plan is to get us off the roads by increasing it so it outprices us from the market. So we can't afford to have a vehicle to tax it and to insure it. That's the way they're going to try and push this. But there is a lot of savings. When you're in a motorhome, my internet bill, for example, I think I'm paying £22 or £28 a month. And I hotspot my tablet off my phone, so I have no television, I have no other internet things. It's just my hotspot. Now I'm using EE because I find I've been all up and down the country. I've been to Wales, Scotland, you name it, I've been down there. And I get a good signal 99.9% of the places that I go. I mean, you're going to get the odd place, then you move on from there. Obviously, if I've got no signal or I've got no service on my phone, then I won't be staying in that area, because I'll move up until I've got a signal. One, it's dangerous. Nobody, you can't get in touch with anybody if there's an emergency or you have an accident. It's the same sort of thing. If you have no network, you're vulnerable. What more can I say? Don't leave yourself vulnerable. Now, in a house, you're going to have problems like your heating could go down, your roof could blow off, whatever. Your fridge can break, your cooker can break. Well, here's a little tip for you. In a house, you must probably get a fridge for 200 quid. Nice one. In a motorhome, you're going to have to use a compressor fridge to save that energy, which they're double the price, so you can save around about £400 for a fridge. And the same with an oven. I mean, you can go and get a full gas stove or electric stove or whatever with grill and oven and 4 hobs and whatever. 250 quid will sort you out easy. Not in a motorhome. The oven in here is a little Thetford oven. They're about 350 just for the oven. Your hob is another £100. So things in a motorhome are dearer than what they are in a house. But the quality should reflect them prices. And once you've got that good setup, you're laughing. You're absolutely away. But it's something to take into account again. It's not all, this is cheap, that's cheap. It's not. Your service and your running bills for the year need to be taken into account for the vehicle. So the actual savings of being in a house to living in a van is what your sums are there telling you. If you take the household bills off, that leaves you with your total. Now you put your running costs from the house. You will be saving, which will free up money for you to enjoy things. You're not stuck in one place. You can be at the seaside, you can be in the mountains. Well, let's sum this little video up. This is how it works for me. I find that I'm better off living in a motorhome. It frees up income that I can go into a Witherspoons now and again. I can have a meal out in a pub now and again. I'm not stuck in one place with a neighbour from hell giving it large. Makes my piss boil. You get to meet some beautiful people on the road, some real characters that have a different story to tell. Every one of the people I meet, it's a fantastic community. They would help you. They would help you out. It doesn't matter. They would help you out because we're all in the same boat and we stick together. Or we try to stick together. Let's put it that way. We do have some people that spoil it for us. You know, by emptying your toilet in public fucking places, leaving litter and rubbish about, letting your wastewater drain down streets and roads. They're going to give us a bad name. So I urge you, if you are living in a motorhome, be respectful of the area that you go in. I mean, we're looking for beauty. When you turn up and the place is full of rubbish, we all do it. Get the old picky stick out. De-litter the area. You think, oh, I've done a nice job here. You got to carry that rubbish now until your next waste, till you get to your next waste bin. But when you turn up and it's just constant, people shouldn't have to put up with that. And living in a van or a camper or a motorhome, wherever you pull up, you're not in your area. You're in somebody else's area. You're in their manor. You're a visitor. If you turn up and you see all them little gas canisters and fucking drug paraphernalia and all that sort of thing, then you're not going to stay there, it's obvious. But the rubbish can put you off too. But it's their area. You wouldn't park in there. I mean, sometimes you're going to get boy racers. Who the fucking hell are you or me to moan that there's boy racers? We've all done it. Every last one of us. You know, in our youth, we were doing the same thing. Sitting out, driving out to country park, sitting in lay-bys, having a smoke, doing what you're doing. We've all done it. Them kids, it's most probably their local area for Friday or Saturday night and you're a visitor. If the noise is too much or you don't feel safe, then move on. But before you do that, I've been in some rough areas, proper rough areas. I've never had a knock on the door. I've never, apart from them playing their loud music and having a laugh with their mates, we done that. Why would you go and interrupt them and say, oh, I want to go to sleep? You're on their manor. That could be their local spot for Saturday or Sunday night or whatever. You have no right to stop people doing what they want. And the same as when I'm in the car park. I don't expect people coming up to me, well, you can't, are you fucking sleeping here overnight? What the fuck's it got to do with you? You know, you just got to have that attitude. But the kids, they're not interested in what you're doing. You're blacked out. You could be there with your family. I know the noise. It's their spot. It's their spot. Find another spot if you don't like it. I don't normally move because I know by 11, 12 o'clock, they're going to be gone. I can turn my tablet up. I don't have to listen to them, you know, and try to hear what conversations they're having and what. That's all paranoid motherfucking shit. You don't need to be doing that. So, it's horses for courses, isn't it, really? You know, wherever you go, you're a guest. But you don't have to have neighbours from hell. You have a little bit more money on your hip. Just enough, you know, just enough to take the edge off and make it worth doing. You're meeting new people, some beautiful people, some right characters, and you're travelling. I mean, to me, that's idyllic. It weren't before I started this. I didn't think I'd end up like this, in a pension, you know, stuck in a bleeding van somewhere, sleeping in lay-bys and whatever. It don't sound good. But after living next door to several fucking foreigners and being trapped in a house for all these years, this is absolutely brilliant. It's not going to suit all of you. It won't. You know, some of you are not able-bodied to do this. You know, getting your water, finding places to do your washing, emptying your rubbish in a new place, emptying your toilets in a new place. You know, it takes a lot of research. You know, where you're going, what if I go from that spot to that spot. I use Park for Night, and I'm sure most of you do. And if you don't, why? Why? On Park for Night, it gives you reviews. If there's boy races, there's boy races. It's what it is. They're too busy enjoying themselves with their mates, having a smoke, doing what they're doing. They're not interested in what you're doing, sitting in there watching your fucking watching the telly or making a cup of tea or having your dinner. They're not interested. They're having their Saturday night. So please don't let that sort of thing worry you. You got to think. You see a motorhome or a van in a car park. I mean, you get the kids knock on it or whatever, if you're around schools and that sort of thing, obviously. But imagine, you pull up to a motor vehicle or camper van or a van, it's got solar on it, you know people are living in it, or people who are asleep in it. They don't just, I think I'll park my vehicle here tonight and go home. So they can see a bit of light through the windows. They're not going to break into it. People are inside. They don't want to get caught. They're hiding, little scumbags. They don't want to be seen. The next thing, what are they going to do? Knock on the door. How many are they going to be confronted with in that vehicle? You know, there could be 3 blokes on a fishing trip. There could be fucking anybody in there. They don't do it. It's as simple as that. Anyway, my lovelies, I hope I've covered enough of this ground. And if you've found it interesting or slightly informative, do us a favour. Give us a little shout in the comments and a thumbs up. That's all I'm asking. Anyway, my lovelies, I'm going to get this one uploaded for you. And I love you all to bits. And I'll see you on the next one. Love you to bits. This is a classic view of what not to buy. Alarm bells are ringing. That roof is sealed proper, mate. Now getting through that A2. Don't it look a donger, eh? Well, mate, I'll keep away from anything looking like that. I think you'd be better sleeping underneath it, Tim. Look, this is not what to buy. This is not what it's about at all. You've got it all wrong, mate.